I think we're live. I'm Gary Peter Carlson, and I'm with John of the Light. This is video number 16. We're going to cover some of my findings from my website on my God Matter page. John will be asking questions about some of the material I've come up with by reading other people's stuff and dowsing and expanding on things. Go ahead, John.
Gary, I'm John of the Light, and 16. What do you call 16? Sweet 16?
I guess. Okay. Depends on maybe if it's male or female, or you just get your driver's license, or you become of age, or whatever it is. Some countries you drink liquor.
16. We're now in like puberty. We're like in high school. All right. So Gary and I would like to talk about the information in his God, Matter, and Life tab or page on Gary's website. Now, we've already talked a lot about Gary's website, but we haven't really gone through most of it yet. We've covered some of it. For those of you who are new to Gary Peter Carlson, the world's expert on souls and spiritual research, you should go to Gary's website. iCheckYourSoul.com. And when you're there, you can search for the God, Matter, and Life page. And we're going to be going.
Clicking on the top menu. There's a menu at the very top, and just click that word and it'll go to that page.
So briefly, I'm going to summarize what we're probably going to be talking about. We're going to talk a little bit about God. We're going to talk mostly about our universe and some other universes. We'll rehash again what a cycle means. We can talk mostly about densities, and we have done a fair amount of discussion already about densities, but I think we'll get in mostly to densities. We can talk a little bit more about some of the most important things, you might call it key aspects on your website of third density, which include the different kinds of souls, which we've just covered, but certainly the different kinds of reptilian souls, which we've already covered. And, mostly we'll spend time on third density, fourth density, fifth density, and sixth density. We probably won't do much discussion on ascension because we've talked a lot about that. We probably won't do a ton of discussion on souls because we've just covered souls in a previous video. But if you're up for it, Gary, let's launch into it.
Okay.
All right. Why don't we?
Let me start out by looking at God overall.
Yes.
What I have found out that you won't find in the Bible or any other books anywhere is that God and his creation has 24 power levels. And we're at the first level. Third and fourth density is the first level. Fifth density is the second level. But there's 24 levels to the final central God or whatever. And each level is way more powerful than the level below it.
Right.
And the 12 of the levels are in our universe. and 2 levels make the universes, the prime creators, and the levels above that are undescribable, probably way beyond our comprehension. But anyway, each level completely dominates the level below it as you go all the way up. Okay, go ahead with your questions.
So you asked, you wrote that there is one central God, and I believe you wrote there is one all-encompassing God consciousness. Do you want to talk about anything God consciousness versus God? I mean, are they one and the same? Are we talking about the same thing?
Well, everything there is part of the creation or part of God as a whole. And kind of the representation of God is ether. There's actually 2 ethers that surround everything that are invisible. One's called the source field, and it's only in our universe. And the Russians discovered it as torsion energy. And there's physical experiments you can do to prove it exists and make things happen from it. But I think it helps create time, and it has energy in it. It has. When people talk about 0 point energy, they could get it out of this source field. And then there's another bigger ether that I call the God consciousness, and it surrounds all universes and all voids, and it's everywhere, and it's different than the other ether, and I think it delivers a few things like maybe DNA. It allows you maybe to create time.
Okay.
And a few things. I guess I wrote them down on my website. I can't.
Oh, that's
think
fine.
of everything.
Obviously, the most important thing is that we are all part of God. We are all pieces or parts of God. We are all interconnected with God, and we are all part of Him. What God wants of us is love and service to others. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
God wants love and service to others versus service to yourself and controlling and manipulating others.
Why does God create just like souls? You said that God creates universes kind of like souls. They're either undecided, or they're part of the light, or they're dark, and they start out undecided, just like a soul. Why would God do that? I mean, does that make any sense to you? Why a universe is a universe just like a soul?
Well, that's a complicated question. I guess God wants to experience itself and see how things come to be, and see the order of things and how things happen, I guess.
Right. So there's always a battle with a soul, right? There's a battle between the forces of good and the forces of evil, the forces of light and the forces of darkness. So just like with a soul, in every universe, would you say there's a battle taking place in every universe? At least when the universe starts, there's always a battle of light versus dark. Is that true?
I'm not sure, I mean, God makes so many universes. There might be some universes that are all light and goodness and everything's easy and it's all love. And there might be some universes that are all negative and everyone's controlling everyone else. They might have some of that God makes, but I think basically universes have some of each, and they kind of fight it out to see who wins. I think universes generally last 22 billion years, and then they're taken in and recycled.
As far as you're concerned, there's an infinite number of them?
No, there's a finite number of universes, but the number is so big that it approaches infinity. In other words, if you took a 1 and you put 26 zeros after it, which is an incredibly large number, that is supposedly the number of particles in our universe, electrons and protons and neutrons, and there's other kind of particles too. If you counted all those particles, it would be a number that big. But the number of universes, supposedly in our, if you did it with the typing on the web page, the number would be like 200 million miles long or something like that. So that number would be like impossible to understand how big it is.
All right, well, let's talk about our universe. You wrote that our universe, you doused that our universe, in its sort of battle of light versus dark, that it's 60% light and it's almost 14 billion years old. You said 13.9.
Right, and it goes for 22 billion years. And the size of our universe is 7.83. And I'm not exactly sure of what, but the universes can go from size 6 to 12. And that first number, like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12, determines the number of creation God and the number of realms in that universe. And since ours is 7.83, we got 7 creation God and there's 7 realms. So there's 7 levels of existence inside our universe.
Maybe you should go into both of those more in depth. People are immediately going to ask, what do you mean 7 creation gods? These are lesser gods. I hate to use that word, but these are gods that work for the central god.
Yeah, they're part of the central god. That's probably the wrong name, 7 creation gods. Maybe they have like some kind of a god for each realm or something like that. I'm getting yes on that.
Like a super soul, yeah.
Yeah, there's like 7 levels of existence in our universe, and they're like part of God runs each level. And we're on the first level, and 4th density is the 2nd level, 5th density is the 3rd level, and it goes on up to 9th density is the 7th level. And
so you're talking about the 7 realms.
Yeah, 7 realms of planes of existence.
How can you put into words so that anybody could understand you? What is the difference between a realm, a density, and a dimension? Is that really complicated?
A little bit. Okay. A realm is a plane of existence, and a density and a realm are about the same thing. Okay. And each density or each realm has several dimensions. Several dimensions. Third density has 2 dimensions, 3 and 4. And fourth density has 6 dimensions, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then the next couple have 4 dimensions, and the last 2 have 3 dimensions. So it goes up to 28. Goes up to 28 dimensions.
I'm just trying to put in perspective for any viewers out there. I'm trying to clarify that you have determined through your research that our universe has 7 realms because it has 7 creation gods. And because we have 7 creation gods, we have 7 realms. And within those 7 realms, we have 28 dimensions across 9 densities.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's exactly right. The first realm has first, second, and third density, and then each realm has 1 density after that.
It's just hard for me even to get my mind around the difference.
Let me explain these dimensions. There's 3 dimensions of space: length, height, and width. And that's the same in all 7 realms all through the universe. It's 3 dimensions of space. The other dimensions can be of consciousness, energy, time, and maybe something else. But I think mostly those 4. We live in the 4th dimension, and it's length, height, and width, and a component of consciousness. And if you make it to 4th density and you live in the 5th dimension, the 5th dimension will be a component of time. And I'm not exactly sure what the 6th will be, probably consciousness. And some of the higher dimensions are of energy too.
Right. So it's not very clear to me the difference between all of these things, but just for clarity, there are 7 realms, and within each realm there's at least 1 density. In third, there's multiple, 1, 2, and 3.
First realm, the first 3 densities.
Right.
First, second, and third density are in the first realm, and then each realm after that has the next higher density.
All right. So what I would guide our, any viewers to do is to go to the website, pull up the God, Matter, and Life page, and you can look at the information you've put there. I don't want us to spend too much more time on it because we have much more to cover, but they can see that the first 3 densities in realm 1, the first 3 densities are in realm 1, and then you've got 4th density, realm 2, 5th density, realm 3, 6th sixth density realm 4, and so on. And it goes on to ninth density is realm 7. And then within each realm, within those densities, there are different dimensions. And you can be in the same realm, in the same density, but in different dimensions.
Right. Yeah, like the reptilian planets are in the third dimension mostly, and we live in the fourth dimension. Most of the planets that have souls with empathy are in the fourth dimension, and most of the planets where they have souls without empathy are in the third dimension. But if you took a spaceship and you flew around in outer space in third density, some of the solar systems you come up to would be in the third dimension and some would be in the fourth dimension. And if you make it to the fourth dimension after planetary ascension and you flew in a spaceship, different solar systems you come to would be in all 6 dimensions, 6 different dimensions. When you entered each solar system, you'd find out what dimension it would be in.
Just to clarify, we are in our solar system, we are in realm 1, and there are 3 densities in realm 1. Our solar system is in the third density, which also our planet, Earth, is in the third density. But within our realm, within our universe, there's third and fourth dimensions.
Yeah. Well, what I need to add is there's 7 different Earths. There's an Earth in every realm. Our solar system's in all 7 realms, and there's a different copy of our solar system in each realm. So there's like an Earth in realm 2, Earth in realm 3, Earth in realm 4. And
Weird.
right up. Yeah, it's complicated the way it's made.
One thing that you've clarified to me that I thought was extremely interesting, and I hope any viewers would agree, that within our solar system, within our universe, right, there's this battle taking place between good and evil. Our solar system and our planet are currently in third density. In other videos, we've talked about how our planet and our solar system are in third density, and how very soon we are about to have 2 different kinds of ascension. One of them's individual, the other is planetary. We've talked a lot about this in other videos. The reason I'm bringing it up now is because you and others, not just Gary Peter Carlson, many people have predicted that we are about to have some type of a planetary ascension. And you have stated on your website that the evil beings, the reptilians and other negative ET races that are here now in and around our planet and our solar system, they're actually actively trying to prevent our solar system from going to fourth density. They're trying to prevent planetary ascension because the negative evil souls can't live or survive in fourth density. Is that still what you get?
Yeah, well, it's actually a little different. What happens is the people that have completed their cycle, which includes star seeds, will automatically get moved to realm 2, fourth density, and go to fourth density Earth. And then our solar system has a solar flash, and all life is extinguished in our solar system. And the people that have completed less than 75% of their cycle are going to get in spaceships and go to another planet 40 light years away. But the reptilians that don't have empathy, that have did evil, are blocked from leaving our solar system. So they're going to die in the solar flash. So they want to stop the solar flash. And they can, but they probably can't.
I'm confused. I thought you wrote on your website that these evil beings are trying to prevent our solar system from ascending to fourth density. Is that not correct?
Yeah, which is a solar flash. They're trying to stop that.
They can't stop it, you're saying now.
Right. It's put in and it's going to take place. They can't. Okay. They think they can stop it, but I don't think they can. I think it's a sure thing.
You and I have discussed in the past that these evil beings, these reptilians and other negative ETs, might actually try to stop planetary ascension. And one of the ways that I thought we have discussed is that if they can reduce the human population on planet Earth dramatically, almost like the Georgia Guidestones have suggested that they should try to maintain a human population of around 500 500 million?
Right. Yeah, 500 million.
And that if they could do that, maybe they think they could try to stop planetary ascension. Are you saying that they now probably can't?
Yeah, they think if the population is too low, they won't have the solar flash and everything will stay the same. But I think it's too late. It's already in the works. And whatever they're trying to do to lower that population that much, I don't think they're going to be able to cut the population down enough. They're going to try with these jabs and wars and whatever they can come up with to have people die, but I don't think they're going to be able to lower the population enough.
Let me ask you a few more questions here. We've already discussed how there's two different kinds of ascensions. If viewers want to learn more about ascensions, they can find these sections on your God, Matter, and Life page. My question is, there seems to be two different things that are totally two different things about to take place. One is individual ascension. One is planetary ascension. You and I have discussed individual ascension as a window that opens after every cycle. Is that true?
Yes.
And so we've had 2 cycles already on Earth, and Earth is about to experience the completion of its 3rd cycle, and that's the reason for individual ascension.
Yes.
Okay.
And also the reason for planetary ascension too. After three cycles, a lot of the population can go to fourth density.
That's exciting. So you describe what a cycle is on your God, Matter, and Life page on your website. You've described it. You've mentioned it many times in other videos, 25,920 years. You call that a, quote, great year of our solar system, correct?
Yes.
You've said...
12 zodiac signs. Yeah.
Okay, a full cycle through the zodiac.
Right, it's 25,920 years. Yeah, I guess I guess every 72 years we move 1 degree, and we move to 360 degrees in 25,920 years. by moving 1 degree every 72 years.
And people can look this up on the internet and they can learn all about the zodiac and how we change from one sign to another throughout the cycle. You call that cycle 25,920 years or a great year. This has to do with our sun orbiting another sun?
I think so, yeah. Our sun orbits Sirius. And that's like 8.6 light years away.
Your thought?
I think our sun, I think there's 8 stars that are all connected, are orbiting each other. I think there's Sirius, and I think there's 7 stars that are orbiting in it. And some stars are orbiting each other and orbiting it, like Alpha Centauri and Proxima Centauri. I think are orbiting each other and orbiting Sirius, and we're orbiting Sirius. I think there's a Barnard star that's orbiting it, and some other star too. I think there's like a 8-star group that's all orbiting. But I don't think the astronomers will put this out this way.
Let's talk about our density. I don't know how much you really want to talk about first density or second density. All the information is listed there for people to read. Is there anything that jumps out at you as being really important to mention about first or second density?
Not so much that. What I do need to say is, in every density, matter and life are expressed differently. Like our bodies in 3rd or 4th density, our bodies are going to have the eat and drink and talk and have like 7 openings on our body. And when you go to the 3rd realm or 5th density, your body will be expressed where everything's closed, and you don't have any openings in your body, and there's no like liquids or gases, and there's no weather, but there is a physical place. You still have 2 arms and 2 legs, but you communicate telepathically. Sure. And you get your body works completely different. And then each density after that, your body becomes more and more advanced. But you'll stay with a closed body and communicate telepathically on every higher density.
Let me ask an obvious question that I'm sure, if there's any viewers out there watching, they would, they might have this question. Must all souls start out in the beginning of first density?
Yeah. An oversoul comes out of the creation star in our universe, and there's three kinds of souls. There's a biological souls that we have one, and then there's another kind of soul that's angels and demons. Angels and demons have the same kind of soul, but angels have empathy and demons don't.
Right.
And then there's a 3rd kind of soul that if it has empathy, it keeps records and makes the Akashic records and all that of the universe. And if it doesn't have empathy, they work to power the stars, to transfer the matter and energy through each other.
Would you say that every single human being on planet Earth, if Earth is their home planet, if they're native to Earth, if Earth is their home planet, were they a first density on Earth?
Not necessarily.
They could have been, though. It's possible.
Could have been somewhere else. Yeah.
Okay. So we all start out in the first density. We have to go through 3 cycles of first density. So all souls are 77,760 years old after first density, correct?
Yeah, and you're just keeping matter made is what you're doing. And you're rated on and the souls are split 16 ways. So like if the oversoul can have 22 to 32 souls. But to make the arithmetic simple, let's say it has 30 souls. So if you multiply 30 by 16, you get 480 little souls that do first density. And then for 3 cycles. And you get rated on how good you do on keeping matter made. And you got 2 higher souls helping you if you slack off, if you don't do things right. And then after that, you go to second density, and your souls are divided 4 ways. So 4 times 30 is 120. So there's 120 smaller souls that do second density and incarnate in plants and animals. Remember, every living thing must have a soul to be alive. You take away the soul, the living thing dies.
Sure.
You revive it and the soul has to come back, or a different soul. And then after 3 cycles of that, the souls are advanced to third density.
Say that all humans then in third density have a pretty freaking old soul? I mean, is it fair to say that everyone's soul is 150,000 years old at least?
Yeah, their oversoul is, yeah.
Right. So everyone watching this video, everyone who's in cycle on planet Earth, human souls, they've all, I guess, all third density souls, they've all been through, all
density, yeah.
First density, second density, their soul, everyone's soul is over 150,000 years old. They come to third density, and then they have to complete 1 cycle in third density. Let's talk about third density. What jumps out at you right now that's important to talk about to describe third density?
Well, it's the most exciting place for souls to live. You get the most athletic body, and you have the highs and the lows are what they call sorrows and misery, and great things happening, and high happiness and joy, and there's sexual activity that releases tremendous energy on that. So
your website,
it's a tremendous learning experience, third density.
Right. You wrote that in third density, this is the first time that souls become self-aware, living, intelligent beings.
Yes.
Okay. And you said that there are vegetables, birds, or mammals.
Yeah, for souls that have empathy.
For souls that have empathy. And for souls that don't have empathy, they can be totally different things.
Yeah, reptilians, insects, or spider people.
Right, and then we have to complete 1 full cycle, again, 25,920 years, in third density in order to graduate third density, which means that, if you can multiply 25,920 times 7, that's how long your soul will have lived when you graduate third density.
Yeah. Your oversoul would have been around that long. Yeah.
You
We're
talk
we're
about,
at like 40 minutes. You want to stop here and make a part
let's,
two?
I think we finished third density. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. You said that some key aspects of third density is that third density is relatively a very negative place. This is maybe why people on Earth think there's so many negative forces attacking them all the time from every direction. Do you want to talk about that?
Earth is one of the hardest planets to live on. If there's a scale of how hard the planet can be, and 1 to 100, 100 being the hardest, Earth's like rated like 98. So we live on a very, very hard planet.
You mentioned before, I think even in this video, that third density is a very negative place because
The
that
reptilians are controlling us. Yeah.
you said that 75% of all soul groups with empathy for others are actually not in third density. 75% are in fourth.
Right. They completed the 3 cycles and moved to 4th density. Yeah.
So of all the people soul groups with empathy, only 25% of those are in third density. Would you say that the vast majority of souls in third density are negative?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
No, okay. It's like 60-40. It's like 60% are negative and 40% are positive. And then they're all positive in 4th density, or have empathy, I should say. If you go by negative and positive and whether they have empathy or not, yeah. It's 60% don't have empathy and 40% do have empathy.
I think you had different percentages on your website, 72 and 28.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I constantly working on that.
All right.
Might be 2/3.
Like 2/3, 1/3.
2/3 and 1/3, I think it is.
Okay. This is very interesting. I thought your viewers would be interested in understanding that in humanity, in third density, you claim that there's 2 different types of souls with empathy. Category 1 and category 2.
Yes. Yeah, that's okay. I'll explain that. When you do 1st and 2nd density, you get rated on how well you do, and 25% of the rating is 1st density, how well you keep the matter made, and then in 2nd density, when you incarnate in plants and animals, you're rated on how well you handle the lives of the plants or animals. Do you keep the plant or animal healthy? Defend yourself against predators properly? Do you give yourself the best chance for a longer life? And that kind of thing, you're rated. And then they rate each oversoul on how well it did, and the top 50% of the rating get a category 1 soul, and the bottom 50% of the ratings get a category 2 soul. And on planet Earth, we got 6 groups, and 3 of them got a category 1 and 3 of them got a category 2. The category 1 groups are the whites, the Oriental Asians, and the Australian Aborigines get a category 1 soul. And the category 2 soul groups are the African blacks, the Middle Eastern people, and the Pacific Islanders. And now if the groups intermarry, whatever the woman has, whatever her soul is, the children, will get that. Will get category 1. So like there's a lot of black people that have a category 1 soul because somewhere in their heritage there was like a black guy married a white girl, so the kids will be half and half but have a white soul. And then if those half and half kids stay in the black community and there's like a female and she marries a black, the kids will be 3/4 black and 1/4 white and have a white soul. And so that with all this interbreeding among the groups, about 18% of the blacks have a category 1 soul. And it's similar for the Middle Easterners. It's even higher. I think it's like 20%. And it's around 16 or 18% for the Pacific Islanders.
Right.
And supposedly, if it went on for 700 years, there would be no more category 2 and everybody'd have a category 1, because the people with the category 1 souls, they get an 8% boost from source. So they're more spiritual and more intelligent, and they do better in life. They're less likely to be involved in crime, and they're more more spiritual and smarter. And so they attract better husbands and wives and all that.
You said, just to clarify, you said category 1 is primarily 3 groups: whites, Asians, and Australian Aborigines. I believe you also doused that you're including Hispanics and Native Americans in that group of category 1 souls. Is that true?
Yeah. Hispanics are half Asian, half white.
Okay.
And the Native Americans are basically Asian. So they're category 1.
Just to clarify, there's 2 kinds of souls in humanity. There's category 1 souls, there's category 2 souls. I believe you just said that the category 1 soul is different in that it is a slight bit more spiritual.
Yeah, it gets an 8% boost from source to be more spiritual and more intelligent, and it'll do better in life. It'll have more talent, invent things.
So you're not just talking spirituality.
Yeah, they'll do better.
Talent,
right.
Intelligence, intellect, spirituality.
Yeah, they'll do better in sports and work and reading and test scores. Everything will be a little bit better if you got a category 1 soul versus a category 2 soul.
I think we're probably at a good place that we could stop. There's so much more to cover. So maybe you want to stop here at 3rd density and we can do another video and pick up from here.
Okay, we can finish 3rd density. Okay, we'll move on from here. Thanks for watching. And remember,
we're love and light out there.
We're on YouTube, BitChute, and Rumble. Thanks, bye.